Well, welcome to Collaborative Leadership, Leader as Organization Architect lesson. The objective of this lesson is to assess your collaborative leadership style and develop a personal leadership improvement plan. Specifically, you will assess your collaborative leadership style on all 9 collaborative leadership behaviors. Then you'll analyze your results and identify themes. And finally, you'll develop a personal collaborative leadership improvement plan. We begin with a comprehensive leadership assessment. The Leader as Organization Architect, or LOA 9x9 self-assessment, was originally based upon research with CEOs who led successful organization transformations, resulting in recognition as a recipient of the Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award. We've developed that further, and based on our experience over the past 25 plus years working with leaders of transformation, we now have the LOA 9x9, which is an 81-point diagnostic that assesses the 81 intersection points between the 9 leadership activities or system, and that was covered in modules 2 through 10, and the 9 leadership behaviors or style. You have assessed your leadership style in each of the previous modules. In those modules, you assess the 9 leadership behaviors for each of the leadership system components. As you worked through the modules, your leadership style has developed, and so we now take a step back and take a look at your leadership style from a slightly different perspective. In this lesson, you will answer the same questions again, organized this time into groups focused on each of the 9 leadership behaviors. For example, you'll begin with a worksheet on role model and go through each question. I set the example by regularly spending time building positive relationships with stakeholders. And you'll just go down the list and rate yourself on each question. Same way you've been doing in the previous modules, only this time you're going to do it all together, all at once. And there's 9 of these worksheets you're going to download and work with. So you're going to answer all 9 questions for each of the 9 behaviors for a total of 81. So once you're done with the worksheet, just move on to the next one. Respect for people in this case, and you would answer the 9 questions. Then collaborative, then communication, persistent, holding people accountable, systems thinking, personal involvement, and finally personal learning. So at the end, you'll have 81 answers, 81 to all 81 questions, 9 for each of the 9 leadership behaviors. To complete your own leadership assessment, download the blank collaborative leadership assessment worksheet. So there's 9 in total that you're going to need to download, and complete all of the 9 by yourself. And then present those or explain your assessments to your colleagues, boss, and get their feedback, because we don't always have a perfect view of ourselves and our leadership, and we certainly don't have the view of how we're coming across. And so it's helpful to get some outside input, just like you've been doing in previous lessons, and then incorporate that feedback into your revised assessment. Once you've done that, you've completed all 9 of the assessment worksheets, you're ready to analyze the results. So to analyze the results, we use a 9x9 matrix. Once it's completed, you can analyze this in 2 ways. We're going to analyze it based on the behaviors on the left-hand column, and those would be the rows, and on the leadership activities, which are the columns. So to get started, each question, the number 1 through 81, are listed in each cell. So you'll take your first worksheet, which was role model, and working across that row, you'll insert your answer to question 1, 2, 3, and so forth. So eventually you'll have a matrix that looks like this, where your Agree Scale score is in each one of the cells. To make this a little bit easier, instead of manual, we've included a PowerPoint template matrix on the website here that you can download and use to insert the numbers. And that'll come in handy when you decide that you want to color code it. So if you color code the Agree scale, then you can use this color code scale that we've developed, or you can develop your own. When you color code them, you'll get a matrix that looks like this. So now, instead of a bunch of numbers on a white sheet, you've got a color-coded matrix that it's easier to analyze and identify the themes. For example, if we start with the behaviors on the left-hand side here and look across the rows for the different themes, we see that there's four themes that stand out that score fairly low. In other words, a lot of yellow, a lot of pink, maybe some red. And so those four are even easier to see if we take away the other color coding by deleting it. Then we're just left with those themes. And it's easier to see what's going on with them and analyze them based on that. Once you've done the analysis of the themes for the behaviors or the rows, you can do the same thing for the columns, which are the leadership activities: stakeholder, mission, vision, strategy. And in this case, there's again four rows that, or four columns in this case, excuse me, that seem to score pretty low. In other words, a lot of yellow, a lot of pink and red. And so when you take these together, we now have identified in this analysis example four themes for the behaviors. We have collaborative, persistent, system thinking, and personal learning. That are the four rows or behaviors, leadership style themes. And we've identified four activities or columns: stakeholder, systems, organization performance review, and organization learning and improvement. So you've got 8 potential ones in this example to work on. So to complete your own matrix, you're going to want to download the Collaborative Leadership Analysis worksheet and table. And so there is a table, a manual method one that you can use to keep track of things, but there's also a PowerPoint version that you can actually enter the data into and then do your color coding. So you're going to complete the 9x9 worksheet using the results from those 9 assessment worksheets. So you just are copying over. And again, each of the 9 worksheets you completed in the previous activity is a row across the 9x9 matrix. And then analyze the results and identify the strengths and opportunities for improvement from a thematic perspective, and present and explain your analysis to your colleague's boss and get their feedback and see what they say, and then incorporate that back into your analysis. Once you've completed both analysis, the assessment of the 9 areas and the matrix, you're ready to work on and develop an improvement plan to address those areas. So starting with the improvement plan template, you'll identify what's working well with your collaborative leadership style and what behaviors should you keep and reinforce. And then identify what's not working so well or what's missing and what's scoring low. And this could be a theme. It could also be an individual aspect of any one of the 9 assessment worksheets that you completed. So it doesn't have to be a theme in order to be an opportunity for improvement that you would identify and work on. And then identify the things you can do to actually improve on and address those opportunities for improvement. So to complete your own, you're going to want to, again, take all 9 leadership assessment worksheets and your LOA 9x9 matrix analysis with the themes, and together use those to identify the strengths to leverage, the opportunities for improvement, and then eventually your development activities. So to complete your own worksheet, as always, download it from the website here, and use your revised quantitative assessment worksheets, all 9, and complete the plan and the LOA 9x9 matrix, and complete the plan by yourself. Then present and explain that to your colleagues, boss, get their feedback, and as always, incorporate that back into your plan. And you're done. So this is a pretty meaty exercise. This is just taking some time and spending some time with this, reflecting, getting to know the data, getting to know your assessment, and get input along the way, because that will really help you refine your thinking and your reflection and your assessment. And once you're done, you're ready to move on to Collaborative Leadership Recreate lesson, the last lesson in this module. And so we'll see you there.